Last week, I had 6 followers on TikTok when I posted a video of my now ex-boyfriend wheezing on the floor of my bathroom, having a medical emergency, and because he got caught cheating. And this is the story time, so we're gonna get into it finally. Please forgive the delay. Yes, I removed the videos partially. There were legal threats and everything, but the main reason was because I never had intentions of this getting 52 million views in 5 days. And at the same time that 52 million people saw this grown man embarrass himself on the ground, they also saw me get cheated on in my face. So I just want to move on from it and heal and enjoy my amazing life that I have without him. So, but here's the story time, long awaited. Sorry it took me so long. I have my notes ready to give you guys the tea. I've never done this before, so I'm just gonna tell you guys as if it's my mom or my friend, and watch if you want, don't if you don't. This is what happened. So the story really starts before I even started dating my ex-boyfriend. 6 to 8 to 12 months, I don't know exactly when, before I started dating my ex, I went to dinner with a guy, and let's just call him Greg. One night, we had dinner, nothing ever happened between me and Greg, we never even kissed, but that's just important for you guys to know because we're gonna circle back to Greg in the story later on. So fast forward, I meet this guy who is now my ex-boyfriend, the one that you guys saw in the video. And for the first months of us knowing each other, I liked him since the beginning, but he would only see me maybe once a month. It didn't seem like he was trying to court me, so I didn't take things too seriously. I liked him, but he didn't seem like he was trying to be intentional at all, so no big deal. But after like 4 to 6 months of that, something changed in our relationship when we started to hang out like every single day. When I'm telling you guys, like 6 nights a week, maybe more. We were together all the time, and I really liked him, so I was happy at the beginning. But we both talked about, taking things slow because we're both adults and we're not just gonna jump into a relationship. We're gonna be thoughtful and intentional about getting to know each other to find out if we're compatible for a potential long-term future. So why did I even like him in the first place? Well, one, he was tall. He was tall with an ugly face, let's be honest. But his energy and the way he presented himself is the reason I even liked him in the first place, okay? So he presented himself as a very successful, very mature, very high value man who had good values, who was family oriented, and he kind of was always looking down on other people, like talking shit about other people and on a little bit of a high horse, but he was confident and quiet. So he had good energy that came across, and he was tall and successful, so it seemed. And I originally liked him because of those reasons. So some of the red flags as our relationship started to move forward and progress is that he would become progressively more controlling. So in the beginning, it would be little jokes and stuff about what I'm wearing, but by the end of our relationship, I had to ask this man for every single drink that I drank. Mind you, I'm a grown adult. I had to get his permission for every drink. I wasn't really going out with any of my friends anymore, so I was basically a prisoner, and we would stay home almost every night. Like, him and I didn't go out that much. There's also things like he made me delete my bikini pictures on Instagram, and he had my location, but I didn't have his. These are all things that I normally wouldn't be cool with, but he created this dynamic where it was like, I respect him and I do what he says, and I want to make my partner happy. So, if you don't want me to have bikini pictures on Instagram, I understand why, because I look good, so I'll take them down. Oh, this is weird. So I don't ever look at a man's phone. I don't want to know what's on a man's phone. But one day I noticed that the messages on his phone were locked. Like, you had a second passcode lock to get into your messages. And I was like, why? And his explanation for this was, oh, my friend has a baby and I saw that my friend has his messages locked, so I thought it was a good idea. And I was like, but do you have a baby who plays on your phone? Why do you need a lock on your messages just because your friend has a toddler? Stupid excuse, right? But I'm not Nancy Drew, so I'm not looking for things. I assume that you're an adult and I'm an adult, and the way he presented himself was like he's high value standards, like morally sound. And so anytime I would bring things up, this is a red flag, he would twist them on me, start to, get mad at me. Somehow, if I said how I felt, somehow he'd be yelling at me. And I'll give you guys an example. Valentine's Day should be an easy holiday to celebrate, but he lives in 2 cities. So most of the time he's in my city, 70% of the time, but 30% of the time he goes to another city. And he was in that other city, but I got a bouquet of flowers delivered to my door. So I was very happy. They were very beautiful. I sent him a picture of the flowers and the notes that the flowers had. And he was like, that's weird. Like, those flowers are not for you. You have another bouquet on the way. I sent those flowers for your 2 best friends. Huh? So I was like, say psych right now. Like, why on Valentine's Day would you send me flowers and also send my 2 hot best friends flowers? But instead of just telling me why, he didn't respond all night and into the next day. So what am I doing? Sitting in misery, wondering, why did this man send my best friend flowers? Like, why did you do that? Why couldn't you just send me flowers? The next day, finally, he tells me, he's yelling at me, and he's like, you know what, Marissa? I went out of the office, I went to the front of the office, and I went out of my way to place the order for the flowers because I was trying to do something nice for you, and the website crashed. I got the order that said it didn't go through, so I placed another order, but then I found out that the first order went through, so I was trying to be nice and do something nice for your friends because I know they're single. And I was like, why are you yelling at me? Also, any man, if you accidentally send 2 bouquets of flowers, just send them to your girlfriend. Like, why wouldn't you just send 2 and be like, sorry, I placed 2 orders? It's as simple as that, but instead I was getting yelled at. Okay, so throughout the course of our relationship, he was controlling. I didn't really say much. I wasn't looking around, so I kept my feelings to myself. So we generally had a pretty stable relationship. This lasted for less than a year, by the way, but we were seeing each other every night, essentially. And so I do want to tell you guys another story about the way this man was controlling. We went to a music festival with a ton of people, a very large festival. And 2 journalists came up to our group that we were with, the friends, and they started introducing themselves, and they said, hey, we are journalists here. We are doing a fashion column. And then they looked at me in the group and they said, we really love your fashion. I was like, thanks. Anyways, they asked me to take a photo, and of course I said yes. So they have this big camera, and I take some photos. And as I'm taking the photos, I look over to my boyfriend, and he is giving me the death stare. He is looking at me like he hates me. And I'm like, and then they start to interview me, and they start to ask me questions about where did I get my inspiration. And he grabs my arm and pulls me, and he's like, we're leaving. And we stomp back to where we were staying in silence, and he's livid. I'm sorry, you guys, I have to do a part 2. I promise it's just gonna be the 2 parts, but I wanna tell you guys the stories, and so, sorry.
Story time about how I found out my boyfriend was cheating on me through the fucking T app. Everyone talking about, oh, ban the T app, ban the T app. No, bro. If it wasn't for that damn app, I probably would have still been staying with a fucking cheater. So I originally got the T app in July of 2025. If you know, like, it takes forever for you to get into the T app. Like, I don't know why, but like, verification purposes, I guess. So me and my boyfriend ended up breaking up July 4th of 2025, and then we ended up getting back together at like the end of August. No, yeah, it was definitely the end of August. So we broke up because of the fact that like he was just a piece of shit. So we ended up obviously getting back together in the end of August. That's around the time that I got approved to be in the TAP. So for a little bit of context, he's from Orlando and I'm from South Florida. So Orlando is Central Florida, I'm South Florida, and we're about like a 3.5 hour drive apart. He ended up moving to South Florida in December of 2023. Me and him got together July of 2023. Also, by the way, we were together for 2.5 years. But every single time that we would break up, this man would go straight to fucking Orlando. Like, straight to Orlando. That should have been a fucking red flag for me. Like, that, oh my god. I honestly just swore up and down that this man would never cheat on me. Like, I fully, wholeheartedly believe that he would never cheat on me. So, anyway, I get approved to get into the TAP while me and him are back together. And at first, I was just getting a bunch of, like, trolling comments. Like, they weren't real. Like, I'm not gonna lie, sometimes on that TAP, people dead ass, like, they just don't want to see you happy, bro. Like, they secretly want your man, like, dead ass. So, I'm gonna say in the beginning of September, no, like, the middle of September, I end up getting a message on there saying, like, hey, he did my homegirl really, really dirty, and he used to live with me and my homegirl, and, like, during that time, like, he was talking with her, did her dirty. I was like, oh, pause. Because the only people that I know that he's ever lived with was his mom, his brother, me. That's it. So at first I thought it was like another trolling thing. So then I was like, hey, I private messaged her, like, give me your Instagram. Like, I want to know who you are. Like, I need the proof. Like, I need screenshots. Like, I need the evidence. If a girl is telling you that your man is cheating on the TAP, get evidence, because sometimes those bitches be lying. But anyway, I add her on Instagram and there's proof. There's proof. So back in April of 2024, me and him broke up. And then we ended up getting back together. So we broke up in March of 24, got back together April of 2024, because it was right before my birthday. My birthday is April 29th. So I know that we were together. During that time, he was going through issues with his brother, and he was staying in Orlando, and he ended up getting kicked out of his brother's house. So his mom said that he could go back to, South Florida. And he was like, oh no, like, I have a job here, like, I gotta figure out somewhere else to stay. Like, I can't go back there and then go back to looking for a job again. Like, I can't do that. Which was understandable. I got it. So he ended up telling me that he was staying with his homeboy from high school who he used to be friends with. And that he offered him, like, a place to stay and that he could, like, crash on his couch. And I guess, like, his mom was, like, really chill, whatever. But I had never heard of this homeboy. Like, he had never told me about him. He never brought him up. Like, they never hung out during, like, the whole, like, we were together for, at that point, almost a year. And I had never heard of this boy. But I was like, you know what? Like, if he's allowing him to stay at your house, I mean, cool. I mean, he was still texting me, FaceTime me, all of that. Come to find out, it wasn't his homeboy. It was a girl's house. The girl texted me and she was like, yeah, no, that's all a lie. He was in a house full of girls. Like, it was me, my homegirl, and, like, another girl or something like that. Like, it was just a house full of girls. Like, so now I'm like, what the fuck? And I'm, like, going back in, like, our messages. And during that time, my cousin had passed away in May. And in June, he was living with that girl, and I was like, I'm about to break up with you because I'm grieving and I feel like I can't give my all to you, and, like, I'm not trying to drag you down because I'm down. He literally was outside crying. Like, when I say crying, I mean, like, please. Yeah. He was full on begging for me to stay with him, and he was like, I'll help you with the grieving process, like, I'll come back down to Fort Myers, 'cause Fort Myers is where I'm from, by the way. He was like, I'll come back down to Fort Myers, and I'll go to the funeral with you, and we can get through this together, like, I can help you, blah, 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 blah. So then I stay with him. I didn't break up with him, obviously, and I was like, okay, like, I just want you to know, like, I am depressed, like, I can't give you my all. And he's like, that's fine, like, I'll be there for you, I'll do whatever you want from me, like, all that. He's doing all that outside of that girl's crib. He don't went back inside and while he was just crying for me to stay with him. So anyway, time skip. I ended up texting him, or not texting him. I saw him in person, obviously, because we have an apartment together, by the way. So yeah, we have an apartment together, and he ended up coming back to our apartment, and I confronted him about it, and he said that it only happened one time. He only cheated on me one time, and that was a one-time thing, and like blah 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 blah. I did this on a Thursday, and he knew I was leaving that day to go see my sister in Tampa, and then I was gonna come back on Sunday. He fucking knew. It was even on our calendar that's on our fridge. So I leave on Thursday. Come Sunday, I come back to our apartment. He's nowhere to be found. I literally told him, even after I found out that he cheated on me, I was like, we're not getting back together, but like, I'm not gonna kick you out and keep you homeless. Like, you can stay here, but when our lease is up in December, I'm out of here and you need to be out of here. But come Sunday, he's not here. But his PS5 and a bin of his clothes is here, but another bin of his clothes was missing. So I was like, you know what? I'm tripping. Maybe he's at work and he'll be back. Nope. So I'm texting him and I'm like, yo, where the fuck are you at? The fuck? Like, what the fuck is happening? Come Monday. Okay, next day, Monday. I get a text message from the girl who he cheated on me with in 2024. We'll call her Sarah. So Sarah texted me and she was like, hey, my homegirl, what are we gonna name her? We'll call her Jane. My homegirl Jane, like, I'm doing her nails right now, and she's telling me that she didn't know that y'all were together, but he was definitely cheating on you with her. And I was like, so I got her Instagram, and then now I'm texting her, and I'm getting more information from her, and like, they had recently hung out, like, in July, like, literally a couple months ago, and they had been a thing since before me. Like, I think it was like 6 or 7 I'm sorry. But anyway, it was like 6 or 7 months, like, before me and him got together, maybe a little bit longer than that, and that they had been like an on and off thing since then. And I was like, excuse me? And she goes and she's got proof, she's got screenshots, she's got text messages, pictures of my man. I was so devastated, like, seeing pictures of my man with her in her car, like, that was devastating news to see. But she did not know about me. Neither of these girls knew about me. Like, they had no idea. Like, they were very apologetic, and they have been, like, super honest with me and being very transparent and telling me everything that I wanted to know. Side note, don't ever blame the girl, especially if she didn't know. If she knew, that's different. But if the girl didn't know, like, you should not be out here trying to fight a girl over a man. Like, girl. Anyway, so she ends up telling me about all of the different dates. Like, all of the different dates of when they were together, and they were texting. He was, like, snapping her, sending her pics, sending her, like, snap pictures. And I was like, one of her pictures was in my old apartment. Like, he was in my apartment, but he told her that he was staying with his mom. No, that was my bathroom. He went to my bathroom to go cheat on me. So I'm like, fuck this. So then I post all of his stuff. I post a picture of all of his shit, and I'm like, I'm selling all of this man's stuff. This man ends up breaking into my house. He was stalking me. I walk my dog. I come back upstairs. My front door is fucking locked. He broke into my fucking house while I was fucking walking my dog, and I confront him about him cheating on me. But he was like, where's my stuff? Where's my stuff? And I was like, bitch, I don't know where the fuck your shit is at. Anyway, so I confront him, and I'm like, you told me that you only cheated on me once. I'm now finding out about a second person. So how many times did you really cheat on me? And he literally went like this. He looked down. He was like, it was a lot. I literally got up and threw up. I was so fucking sick. And it's also like just going back through all of our memories and seeing where me and him were, and it was just so like heartbreaking and devastating to see, and to just know that like he was cheating on me during those times. Like, it was like genuinely like, I'm so done with him. I'm never getting back with him. I'm over him. But the situation still bothers me so bad, because like I just can't believe that like I even let that shit happen. Like, how did I not know? But yeah, this is your sign to post your man on the T app.
Story time on how I found out I got cheated on for 3 months straight in a year-long relationship. I'm making this story time not only because it's a juicy story and this has never happened to me in my life and I never thought it would happen to me, but also I feel like as soon as I make a story time about somebody or like vocalize how somebody did me wrong, I could never go back. Like, there's no excuse for me to ever go back. I'm gonna start by saying this man really had me fooled. He met my family met his family. We babysat his siblings together, and everything was very much locked in. We spent 2 Thanksgivings together, New Year's together. Like, we were locked in. I'll just say there were like little red flags at the beginning. Like, I remember there would be times where he would walk like crazy ahead of me, like there was no type of like, oh, we're together. He wouldn't really compliment me that much unless it was like through text. Like, when we would see each other, there was no type of like really like excitement or like, oh my gosh, like, you're my girlfriend. And my excuse for that was like, oh, he's just quiet, he's just a little nonchalant. Like, no, never talk to a nonchalant man. We met at school, and then since it was a community college, he transferred out and ended up going to a 4-year school, and I was still at the community college. And basically I had this fear. I was like, oh my gosh, as soon as he goes to a 4-year, he's probably gonna cheat on me, or not even cheat on me, like, things will just be different. And I was right. Like, the first like month of him being there was okay, it was great, but then there would be times where he wouldn't call as much, or he would call really late. Last like 2 months of our relationship, I was feeling like, oh, he could be cheating right now. Like, he could be cheating and I wouldn't even know. I was telling my sister and my friends about it, and I was just like, oh, he could be cheating on me right now. That's like what I'd be thinking about sometimes. And then they're like, oh, it's just the distance, he's a good guy, just talk to him about it, whatever. So Valentine's Day comes up, I talked to him about it, and I was like, sometimes I'd be feeling like you could be cheating on me. He was like, I'm like, oh, okay. He would never, right? And then after that conversation, I was just like telling him, just being a really good girlfriend, basically, just telling him like, oh, if you ever need me or whatever, I'm here. Like, we're in a relationship, I want to know what you're going through, I want to know what's going on in your head. And he was just like, yeah, like, I understand that. And then he sent me a big paragraph being like, it'll take me a minute, but I will get there, and like, I'm excited for our future, whatever, da 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 da. I basically posted a TikTok of me and him, because I was just like, we're locked in, we're back locked in. Because before, he would never post me. Also, he would only ever post me when I posted him. And I asked him, I was like, oh, why did all your friends comment on the TikTok of us? And he was like, oh, because I was showing them all the TikToks of us, and I was telling them how you're a keeper or whatever. Last text before I found out this man was cheating on me was, I love you. And then my friend gets a request. She basically told her that her and my boyfriend have been sleeping with each other for the past 3 months. In my head, I'm shocked. So I call this girl, or she calls me, I don't remember, and she's showing me like a bunch of screenshots. I could put them all here. I was in shambles. She basically was saying that they've been doing the do for 3 months, and he actually messed with some other girl while he was talking / doing stuff with both of us. After I found that out, I see all the receipts, and I'm sick, obviously, because I'm like, oh, you met my family. I even find out that the girl that he was seeing, he saw her like 3 days before our 1-year anniversary and Valentine's Day. On top of that, he must have did stuff with that girl in the sheets that I bought him. And on top of that, the day that he had a girl in his dorm, I was making a collage for Valentine's Day of us. And this man was straight up telling her that he wasn't in a relationship, he just got out of one. And then I called him on it, put the screenshots. I called him on it, and I was like, oh, you messed up, like, you're cheating on me. And then he was like, I know what it looks like. And then he said all this BS about whatever he's going through and how he needed somebody to confide in. Oh, I don't know, maybe confide in your girlfriend. Maybe confide in the girl who knows your family, who knows what's happening in your life. I texted his parents and was like, I'm so thankful for everything that you guys done for me, and like, I appreciate y'all. He was unfaithful, so it's not my choice, and they were basically just very sweet about it. After all of this was said and done, I was like, oh, I'm good, like, I'm off you, baby. This, like, you're not mine. You clearly didn't have any type of consideration for me, so I'm gone. He basically sent me a text like saying like, even if your family doesn't respect me, I still respect them, and like, I'm so sorry, whatever, and then saying like how he'll pay for my transportation to have a conversation with him in person. And I'm like, bro, whole time this man doesn't even drive, so he literally went out extra out of his way to cheat on me. I basically was just like, I'm good, like, I don't need to see you, you don't need to see me. And he texted my parents on top of that. And I tell you, everyone's jaw was on the floor when I found this out. My sister, she was like, there's no way. My friends, he met my friends on top of that, so my friends were all like, no way he did this, like, that's insane, because he was so, like, he was such a good person. I'll stop yapping now. That's what happened. That's the tea. I think I covered everything, and honestly, I'm not gonna say I wish him the best, but I hope that he can live with what he did, take accountability for it, and maybe be a better person. I don't know. I'll just end this video off by saying, make sure you are extra aware of who you are speaking to, because they can meet your family. They can be so integrated in your life and still cheat on you. They could fool everybody in your life and still cheat on you. You could be the best girlfriend ever, they'll still cheat on you. And I learned that because I genuinely thought that this would never happen to me. And they can also lie to you, like that, because the amount of times I asked this man, like, or I was just uneasy about things, and he could have just said, I've been meaning to tell you, this has been happening, this has been going on, instead of me finding out. Because I found out after 3 months. That means he could have kept this information from me for however long he wanted. He probably wouldn't have even told me. So stay safe out here and be extra observant, because these men are not.
Bro's dumbass literally left his fucking phone in my car, so I went through it and I found everything. To y'all dumbass cheaters out there, if you're gonna cheat, at least be smarter about it. Don't leave your second phone in my fucking first place, and then you wouldn't have to be worried about me going through your phone. Also, I'm known for smashing phones, so like, it's taken everything in me not to do it, guys. I am a changed woman. Am I gonna smash the phone? No. Do I want to? Yes. I'm sorry, but how fucking dumb can you be? Like, texting other girls and then leave your second phone in my car. Like, if I was doing some dumbass shit like that, that phone would be the first thing I make sure to grab when I'm leaving that car. Like, y'all dumbasses be cheating and then get yourselves caught up so easily. Like, what the fuck? And by the way, guys, me and this man aren't together, so like, it wasn't cheating. I'm just talking about like overall situations. Men be getting caught up so fucking easily. Like, how can you get caught up that easily? I just had a gut fucking feeling that he left his phone, and I get home and I fucking look on the ground and something is buzzing, and it's this fuck ass phone. Like, are we fucking being dead ass? Like, bitch. And my ass hopped out of that fucking driver's seat so quick, picked that bitch up and went through it, and did I like what I saw? No. Do I care? No. No. Well, beautiful ladies, if you're texting that phone, just know you're not the only one, and there's probably like 5 other girls in there. Just wanted to throw that out there. Ew, why are men so fucking thirsty, bro? This is bad. No, guys, I'm not even gonna lie. This guy that, like, left his phone in my car, I guess he's just my friend, so, like, it doesn't matter anyways. But, like, okay, if you guys got the situation, you would understand. 1, I can't explain it, and 2, it's too much to explain. But, like, if you're my friend and, like, you know me, you, like, understand what I'm saying. Like, technically, we are only friends. Does it hurt me to see that? No. Like, yes. I'm just joking. But, like, I don't know how to explain it. We're friends, but, like, we have a past. Like, we have a history. So it's just, like, damn, I don't like seeing that. But technically, I can't even be mad, basically. So I knew he was talking to a bunch of girls. It's just one of the girls, like, me and him had problems with. Like, she was an issue here and there throughout our relationship. Oh yeah, she was also a problem in another relationship I had. That bitch is just everywhere, bruh. But yeah, it low-key just pissed me off because we had like a 4-hour conversation, and then like the second he got out of my car, he's texting all these girls. So like, it's just like, bro, really, like, that's like so, like, that's so disrespectful, I feel like. Like, the second you get out of my car, you're already texting other girls. But like I said, me and him aren't anything. We're just friends. We've had a past, but yeah. That phone is gone in my closet. Anyways, thank you guys for listening to this Get Ready With Me. I hope everyone has a great Friday and an amazing weekend. I love you guys. Bye.
Story time of how some girl wanted to fight me at my job. So I used to work at Didi's Discounts, and this was like my first big girl job. Like, I used to have little jobs where I used to work like a little candy store and stuff, but this was like my big job, my big girl job. Like, I was the front cashier, so obviously I know how to do customer service and like talk to people, and obviously you don't have to make like a full-on conversation, but you have to be like nice or like, you know, ask them stuff and anyways. So this specific day, I think it was like summer break, and there was long, if you ever been to Didi's, most of the time the lines are so long, just like at Ross. So Didi and Ross are like sisters. So on this day was nothing out of the ordinary. We had our long line. It was me and some like supervisor that were on cashier, but I was the main cashier, so I was the one taking like the returns and everything, right? So then, you know, I get to like this customer, and then she's like, well, first of all, I think she had lost her keys, and she had asked one of the like the workers that were on the floor. She had asked them if we had seen him, and I think one of the workers had found it and put it in the lost and found box that we have, because we had like a lost and found box, and you know, if you ever lost something, we would like put it there. Anyway, so then she was like, oh, but like, mind you, she was already rude from the jump. Like, every time someone would come and be like, oh, how are you, you know, how was your day, did you find everything? And that's just me being like a customer service. Like, I like to make like little small talk, so it's not like really awkward or weird. And then she was like, I lost my keys. And I was like, okay, like, let me look in the lost and found little cabinet. Mind you, while I was doing this, I was ringing her stuff up. I think she had like 2 things. So the first main thing was like this, if you ever have a baby, you know those little things where you put them on the, it's like a little padding thing, and you put them on the floor, and your baby can like do tummy time or stuff like that. So it was one of those. And then I think like, I don't know, like shirts or like something in a little pack. I don't know if it was socks or little shirts for babies, I don't remember, but I remember it was that little pad play thing, and I scanned it. I think it rung up to like $14.99 or like something around there. So I'm like ringing it up, you know, and then you can obviously see on the little thing what you're getting and the price. And then she was like, I thought that was like $8.99 or something like that. And I was like, oh no ma'am, like this is a price tag. Sorry, I was eating. And then she was like, but I saw the other one that had like the discount price. And I was like, oh well, if you wanted that one, then you have to bring that one, and then obviously you have to get that one. You can't like price match, you know. And she was like, oh my god. And then she's like, and you better have my keys when I come back. And I was like, oh, mind you, she's like not screaming, but she's talking loud. The line is like far, like you have the line wrapped around the little thing. And I'm just like, okay. So she's like, she went to go get it, so I was like just waiting for her. While she went to go get the thing, that's when I got her keys, and I just like put them on the side. And then honestly, I don't understand, because I think I low-key like blacked out a little bit, because I don't remember like why. She was already mad, and she, I think, just wanted to cause like a scene and a fight, I don't know. And then she came back, and then she was already talking like under her breath, like talking shit, saying like, oh my god, this this fucking store, this and that. And I'm like, girl, like, you need to have patience here, you know, like, if you know you wanted something, then you have to get that thing. Not every store does price match, because I know a lot of stores do that, but Didi's doesn't do that. It's already cheap as hell. It's way cheaper. Is it cheaper? It's way less than Ross, because Ross is like cheap still, but Didi's is like less. So then she comes back obviously with the one that's like $8.99, I think, or like $9.99, and then she was like, but I want the other one. And I was like, ma'am, you can't have that one, you have to get the one, like, you can't price match. So then she's like, oh my fucking god, like, I don't know what she was saying. I was just literally trying to scan everything, get her on her way. Girl, I literally have like a full shift here. So I ran up all her things, which is like 2 or 3, like I said, I don't remember. She had little things, and her total was like $20, right? Yeah, it was like 19 something, because she gave me a 20. And then mind you, she was still talking shit. Like, literally, I don't know what her issue was. I think maybe she was just having a bad day. Girl, I don't know, we're all having bad days, but that doesn't mean you have to like take it out on everyone, right? Anyway, so she gives me the 20, and then me, like, not thinking nothing of it, I'm like, have a nice day. And she literally flipped. Like I said, I don't know why she was already mad. And she was like, have a nice, and she literally, because like I was giving her the coin, so she grabbed it from me and threw it at me. And I was like, I think that's when I literally, like, I was like, what is happening here? And she was like, I'm gonna fight you when we get out, like, when does your shift end, and this and that. Mind you, this is the part that like still pisses me off, because the supervisor in the back didn't do nothing. Like, mind you, everyone in the line was looking, everyone, and they were just like staring at her because she was making such a big scene. And I was just so lost. Like, I literally like blacked out, like, what the hell just happened? And then she grabbed her bag, and then she was just talking shit. Like, I think we had a security up in the front. Like, I don't know, no one did anything. Like, literally no one did anything. She grabbed her bag and she left. And then I was just like, I think I was just like frozen. And after that's when the supervisor, she's like, you want to take 5? And I was like, girl, oh my god, that's, I think, the part that got me more irritated, because now I think stores do like, we won't like give you service if we don't want to. But girl, when was that back then? Because I was like, there's no way she watched everything. She was right behind me too, so there's no way she didn't hear anything, right? Everyone was listening. And so whatever, I'm like, yeah. So then I like clock out on my little thing, because you have to like log out, not clock out, like you have to log out. So I log out, and then I go into the break room, and I just started crying because I was so mad. Like, I literally cry when I'm mad, and I was so mad. So I remember in the break room, and I had like my head down, and then that's when the manager walked in. I think literally she walked in like right when I was already probably getting to the break room. And then she's like, she saw me, and then she's like, hey honey, like, are you okay? She was like obviously the sweetest, I don't even remember her name, this happened like years ago. But she was like the sweetest manager. And then she's like, are you okay? And I was like, oh yeah, like, but just some girl, she wants to fight me. I was like, I don't know if she's waiting out there for me, like, to fight me. I don't know what's wrong with her. She's like, what do you mean? And I was like, yeah, like, some girl went crazy, like, I don't know, she just wants to fight. So then she goes back, she goes into her, because it was like a break room, and then there's a door to like their private room where they have like security cameras and everything. And then she like looked in the security camera, and then you can literally see when she grabs the money and like throw, because it's like, it was like coins, so that's why I said it was like 19 something, because I gave her like some coins back. So she grabbed it and she like threw it, and you can see that in the camera. And she was like, and I think she was shocked that the supervisor didn't do anything. Like, she literally was like, no ma'am, like, okay, you're gonna have to leave now or something. Like, I feel like that's what pisses me off more, because like, girl, why are you a supervisor if you're not gonna do anything? Like, that was literally crazy. So then she was like, oh, like, do you want to take the day off? Like, it's fine if you do, like, I'm already here. And then I was just like, yeah, like, I just want to go home. Literally, that killed, like, I think just, I was so overstimulated too that I was just like, what just happened? And like, she just didn't do anything, the supervisor. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So then I I was low-key scared though, because I was like, what if she's outside waiting for me to fight me? Because I'm telling you, she was just talking shit, like saying all kinds of stuff. And I was like, girl, like, what is wrong? Like, just have a nice day. I probably triggered her. Anyway, so while she was saying something, I think what triggered her most too, because she was like, I said, have a nice day. She's like, oh, you stupid something, like, you work here at Didi's. And I was like, but you're shopping here, like. And that's when I didn't really keep my mouth shut. I'm like bad at telling stories. But I was like, but you're shopping here. And I think that's what literally triggered her the most, that I told her that she shops at Didi's. But girl, how are you gonna tell me, like, you fucking blah blah blah, you work here at Didi's? Like, girl, you're literally shopping here and you're being cheap. You're the one that wanted the freaking thing for like $8.99 instead of paying like $14.99. Anyways, so I got home and then obviously I was crying because I was just so angry. Like, I was just so upset that the supervisor didn't do anything. She literally just stood there. And my mom was like, oh my god, like, obviously I was crying. She's like, are you okay? Like, what happened? I think I was there like 2-3 hours, and I think I had like an 8-hour shift. So she's like, oh my god, like, are you okay? What happened? And then I just like told her everything that happened, and she was like, oh my god. I was just so angry that the supervisor didn't do anything. And like, what was wrong with her? Like, I literally don't know what was wrong with her. She just wanted to maybe like start something with someone, or maybe someone else like pissed her off inside the store and she just like took it out on me. And I was just like, what is going on? But yeah, I feel like what triggered her the most was that I had told her like, oh, and you're shopping here. But girl, how are you gonna tell me shit about me working when I'm literally getting my bag, trying to get my bag, and you're over here telling me like I work here at Didi's, but you're shopping here? Like, I will never understand. And after that incident, I hated my job. I didn't want to go anymore. I would literally cry and be like, I hate my job, like, I need to find a new job. And after that, that's when I started applying at like warehouses, and that's how I would work. I literally Didi's and like the little candy stores were like the retail jobs that I had, and after that, that's when I worked at warehouses. But yeah, like, literally working retail is not for the weak. And me, like, I am not a fighter. Like, I've only gotten in a fight one time, and it was in middle school. I can do a story time on that too if you girls want. But like, I'm not gonna start a fight for no reason. Like, if you come looking for me, you'll find me, but I'm not gonna go looking for you, because I'm not like that. You get me? Like, I just don't want, like, I feel like that's, I mean, now at my grown age, like, it's like so ghetto, but like back then too, like, I didn't want to fight. Like, girl, what are you doing? Like, but yeah, amigas, that was literally the time that some girl just wanted to fight me for no reason. And she was literally telling me that she was gonna wait outside for me to fight me, and I'm like, girl, like, I'm just trying to finish my shift here, like, what? But yeah, after that, I think that's when I really was like, no, I don't want to work here no more. Like, I need to work somewhere else. And then I looked for like warehouse jobs, and then I worked at like warehouses, and it was like, there was like drama there too, but it wasn't really like anything crazy. Like, you have to deal with customers and stuff like that. So I don't know, girl, that was, I'll never forget that. And this is the final look. But yeah, my guys, hopefully you girls enjoyed the story time. Let me know if you girls want more story times, and I definitely have so many more. But yeah, I'll see you in my next video.
Story time about how I kind of broke off a wedding. Just tell me at the end of the story time if you think I did the right thing. Also, I have run this past the guy in this situation. If it's okay, I post on TikTok. I had this girlfriend for about 8 years. I know her. We used to be really close friends. We don't really link much anymore because I'm an introvert. About 2 years ago, she gets together with this guy who I also know and was kind of friends with. Not really, but like, I knew him. And they've been together for about 2 years. Catch up with this girl about 3 months ago. We do the Burley Hill walk. We have coffee. We catch up, and she's like, yeah, everything's going well with so-and-so. I think he's gonna like propose to me soon. I was like, oh my god. So about a month goes by, and then another friend of mine messages me on WhatsApp at like 1 in the morning. It's a Saturday night, and she's out and about, and she sends me a photo of this girl, the friend who is with the guy, and they've been together 2 years. And she goes, is this your friend? It looks like her, blah, blah, blah. She's out in the club being messy. Isn't she dating the guy? I was like, she is dating so-and-so. What do you mean messy? Then she proceeds to send me photos and videos of this girl at the club being messy. I'm talking making out with other guys, dancing all over another guy, and not just one guy, it was multiple guys. I was shocked and shook because a month before that I was having lunch with her and she was saying how so-and-so is going to propose to her. Sit and stew on this for ages. I end up contacting my friend and saying, hey, just so you know, like, I know someone who saw you in the club, that you were being messy that night, and I think what you did was wrong. It's definitely cheating, and I think you need to tell so-and-so. I was like, oh no, I was just so drunk, rah, not that big deal. And I was like, no, you need to tell him that's wrong. She kind of gave me attitude back and was like, fine, whatever, I'll tell him. He's not going to give a shit, but I'll tell him. He knows what I'm like. And then I get a phone call from this friend who is with my friend so-and-so, and she is ecstatic. She's, oh my God, he just proposed. We're on holiday and he just proposed. He asked me to marry him. Oh my God, like going on and on. She's like, I'll send you photos of the ring. And I'm on the phone. I'm like, girl, did you tell him? And she's like, oh, I can't talk about that right now. Like, just so ecstatic and excited that he has proposed. And I was like, girl, you need to tell him. She got off the phone to me and she was like angry at me. And she was like, oh, you're just trying to rain on my parade. You're just trying to ruin what I've got. You're just jealous because you're single, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, be so fucking real. He is also my friend too. And I was just stewing on this. And then I said to her, I said, look, if you don't tell him, I'm going to, because it's the right thing to do. Little did she know that I still had like photo and video evidence in my phone. Okay, so a few days went by. I was like, I don't know what to do. Like, I don't know if I should tell him because they've just gotten engaged. Like, he thinks he's about to spend the rest of his life with this girl. Like, at the end of the day, I stopped and I thought to myself, number one, it's a shitty thing to have me in this situation because that's fucked. Number two, if I was him, I would want to know. I'm about to commit my life to this person and spend all this money marrying them. I would want to know. I give him a call, we meet up and get coffee before work, and I spill the tea. I just felt so awful. He was like gobsmacked, but in a way it was kind of like he wasn't surprised. It's like, do you have the proof? And I was like, I have videos and I have photos, like, do you want to see them? Like, you don't have to, but I am telling you, I've got them. He was like, yes, I want to see them because whatever. So he looks at them and he was like so upset. Like, I cannot. I felt absolutely awful in that moment. He was like, yep, can you send those to me? Because I know when I confront her, she is going to deny it. So I send him all the video footage, and 2 days later, the wedding has been called off. This woman is going in on me. Nastiest, horrible things. You're a jealous bitch. You're just single. You'll never be married. You'll never have what I have. You're just spiteful. You're a CUNT. Like, she is going in on me, and I just blocked her because at the end of the day, I feel like I've done the right thing, but I don't know. Do you feel like I've done the right thing? What would you have done?
Okay, here's a story time about how the guy I was talking to had a girlfriend. So I met this guy over a month ago in Florida at my friend's house. I went to her house and her boyfriend had set us up together. And I was informed that he was single, whatever, blah, 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 right? Which was true from my understanding. So we've been snapping for over a month. We met on December 16th. We started snapping December 18th. It's January 29th. So, like, I don't know, I noticed things were a little off. Like, he had stopped doing things that he had done before. He was leaving me undelivered for much longer. He wasn't conversating as much. And, like, I caught on to it. So I was like, okay, this is a little weird, but I kind of just, like, let it go because I was like, maybe he's just, like, really busy with work and stuff like that. And he, like, would go out hunting quite often. So I didn't think too much of it, especially because we weren't, like, officially anything, so I didn't want to, like, think too much about stuff. So anyways, I got a text from my friend that set us up together, and she texted me. She was like, hey, are you and this guy still talking? And I was like, I mean, I think so. Like, we're still snapping. Why? And she was like, well, because my boyfriend said that he saw that he posted a girl on Instagram, like a picture of them together on Instagram today. And I was like, oh? And we went to go look, and the Instagram story was gone. Not only were the Instagram stories gone, but all of his highlights were gone for me. And I was like, oh, he deleted all his highlights too. And they were like, no, he didn't. And I was like, yeah, he did. Like, they're not here. And they're like, we can see them. And I was like, what? So we like traded screenshots. Like I showed them what I saw and they showed me what they saw. And I was like, he blocked me from his Instagram stories. Like, acting like my own friends weren't gonna see it. So, anyways, whatever, right? She was like, you should confront him, like, whatever, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, no, I can't do that. Like, I'm gonna get my feelings hurt. I already know it. Like, I can't confront him about this girl that he posted, especially because I didn't see the picture myself. And she was like, whatever, like, that's what I would do. Like, you do what you want to do, whatever, blah, 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 right? So I had texted him and I said, hey, like, if you don't want anything to do with me anymore, please just tell me, you know? And he responded and he was like, it's not that I don't want anything to do with you. I just have a lot going on with work right now and I'm not really looking for anything, but like, you're cool as fuck and I want to keep talking to you, but like, I'm not really looking for anything right now. And I was like, oh, okay. So I responded and I was like, so did you know this from the beginning or did something change? Because if he knew this from the beginning, then what was the point in snapping me for over a month? Do you know what I mean? Or, you know, just like maybe what was the point in pulling me to chat while we were at the bonfire? What was the point in kissing me? Like, what was the point in it all if you knew from the beginning that you did not want a girlfriend? If you didn't want a girlfriend, you didn't have to pull me for a chat. Like, even if my friend's boyfriend told you, like, hey, you need to talk to her, you could have been like, nah, bro, like, I'm not looking for anything, I don't want to, you know? But he still did it. So, you know what I mean? And he replied, and he was like, kind of both. I was like, what? Anyways, he was like, kind of both. I mean, with the way my work is and my life, I just don't need any more responsibilities right now. I was like, first of all, I'm not a fucking responsibility. Like, A, I don't even live where you're at. You're in Florida and I'm in Colorado. I'm not a responsibility. B, is it really a responsibility for you to open up your phone and snap me back every now and again when you obviously have time to scroll on TikTok because he was reposting TikToks constantly while I was undelivered. His snap score was constantly going up. Like, I'm not a responsibility. No, that pissed me off when he said that. So anyways, I was like, whatever. Left the conversation at that. I didn't say anything that pretty much just like called it quits at that point, for me at least. And so my friend had called me and she was like, oh, also, by the way, like, previously he had mentioned something about a girl because my friend's boyfriend had texted in a group chat with like all the guys and was like, hey, are y'all going to the bonfire? And the guy that I was talking to was like, let me ask, and said a girl's name that was not mine. And everyone was very confused. And she told me about that. And I was like, I know that name. And it was a girl that he had followed on TikTok and she followed him back previously. And I like had mentioned something about it, but I didn't go too much into it because I was like, maybe they know each other from school, whatever. So I go to her TikTok and I'm like, okay, like, what the heck, whatever, right? So I go to her repost that night. I'm laying in bed and I'm just like going through her reposts and she's reposting a lot about a guy. And I was like, okay. Brief intermission. My mom called me. We had to go to the vet to pick up her boyfriend's dog. It is now very much later. Anyways. So I'm scrolling and I'm like, okay, whatever, right? And I'm looking and I'm like, one says boyfriend. One says something about a boyfriend. And I'm like, pardon? Boyfriend? So I was like, okay, either they're talking more than everyone thinks they are, or she's got a boyfriend that's not him. So I'm like, okay, whatever. It's like midnight, 1 a.m. for me, and Florida is 2 hours ahead of me. So I'm like, I'll send these to my friend like tomorrow or something, like later tomorrow when she's out of work and stuff. So fast forward to the next day, he's still snapping me he snapped me like once that day or whatever, and I'm in the parking lot waiting to pick my brother up from school, and I open up her TikTok to go see if she's like reposted anything else, and I open it up and there's a video posted 2 hours ago with a picture of them, and it's pretty much like a couple's TikTok. I looked at it and I was like, oh, I know him. I know him. I'm like, okay, what the hell? I was literally genuinely so confused. I wasn't even hurt. I was just like, oh, like, whoa, wait, rewind, hold up, what? So I'm like, well, damn. So I'm like blowing up my friend and I'm like, they're fucking dating. Oh my god, they're fucking dating. And I sent her like the screenshot of the TikTok. So I get home because I'm driving and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I'm genuinely confused. And so I'm like, maybe she has Instagram. Let me go look for her Instagram. So I'm like looking for her Instagram. I find it and I open it and her bio literally says 12/28/25 with a J and a red heart. Pretty much saying that they started dating December 28th. It is January 29th and I met him December 16th. If they've been dating since December 28th and I've been snapping him this whole time, what? So I'm like freaking out. I'm texting my friend. I'm like, bro, her bio says they've been dating since December 28th and like we're all genuinely so confused. So I'm like going through the comments on the TikTok and I'm like, this dog won't shut up, I'm sorry. Anyways, I'm going through like the comments and his friends are in the comments and I'm like, oh, so they knew and they didn't tell me? Because like I have them on Snap. So I'm like, wait, how did they see this? So I go to all of his friends' followings and look up her username in their followings and none of them follow her. So I'm like, how did they see this? Mind you, he hadn't even commented on the video yet. So lo and behold, one of his friends sent the TikTok to the guy's group chat and they all saw it from there. And he pretty much said, nah, now y'all trying to get me in trouble. And the guy was like, I can't control what pops up on my For You page. And my friend's boyfriend was like, big dog, Kelsey already knows. And then I was blocked on Snapchat and Instagram. And then he removed me as a follower on TikTok, but forgot to unfollow me. So he still follows me on my main TikTok account. And it says follow back.
Story time about the time I walked in on him with another girl and literally took a video of it. This had happened freshman year. I'm a senior now, and I'm in a very healthy relationship now. So like I said, this was 3 years ago, and it was this guy's birthday. And for his birthday, he had a bunch of people from his high school right down the road come to his apartment and like pregame with us before we went to another party. Also, my best friend was in town, so she was visiting. And for his birthday, I had got him this chain. Keep this in your mind. So the night rolls around and we're all at his apartment pre-gaming and all of his like high school friends show up. First red flag is that literally nobody said hi. Keep in mind these people are still in high school. Second red flag is when we were playing like beer pong, I literally had slipped and like fell on my back. And one of the girls was like, blah, 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 get your girl, talking about me. And he did not help me off the ground. Two of his other friends helped me off the ground. And we were like laughing about it, but like, what do you mean, well, get your girl? Like, and he didn't even help me up. The third red flag is that when me and all my friends were like in the living room, him and all these like high school girls were in his room taking shots out of like our alcohol bottles. So we were like, no, absolutely not. And we put our alcohol bottles in the closet. Keep that in mind too. So the pregame's about over and we walk like a neighborhood over to this like party that this guy was having. And there was like a ton of us and we're all walking and I noticed like him and this another girl just like talking like behind everybody. They're like way back and I'm like, you know what, I'm not gonna think anything of it because it's his high school friends. He probably hasn't seen them in a while and why would I need to overthink? So we're in this party and there's like a downstairs and an upstairs and one of my friends was like, Megan, I just saw go upstairs with this girl, like, do you want me to go check on them? Like, that was like 10 minutes ago. And I was like, sure, like, I don't care. And so she like went up there and she came back down and she was like, he had his arm around her. And I was like, you know what, like, I don't care. I really don't care. So the night was getting pretty late, and I remember he had like Snapchatted me or something. It was like, hey, like, we're all going back to my apartment, like, we're just like tired or whatever. And then time rolls around and it's like actually time to like go, you know? So we walk back to his apartment, and it's like me and like 4 other of my girlfriends. And I remember he like wasn't answering my Snapchat, so I was like, I feel like we're like about to walk in on something. Like, I just have like a gut feeling something's not right. When we get back to his apartment, we open like his like main door to his apartment, and these girls just like start like giggling. They're like, and they're like, oh gosh. And I like turn my head, and in my head I'm like, oh gosh, what? Then like me and my 4 girlfriends like go over to his like his room door, and it's locked. So then my friend Tatum's whispering, and she's like, Megan, like, I'm gonna knock, pretend you're not here, like, don't say anything. So she knocks, and she's like, blah blah blah, like his name. She was like, I'm just here to get my alcohol, like, I'm going back to Megan's dorm. And he's like, 1 second. Now it's been like 2 minutes and he still has not opened the door. And she's like, open up, like banging on it and yelling at him. And he's like, hold on, and like opens it. And this is where I like blacked out, like barely remember what went down. We walk in, and Tatum opens the closet to get her alcohol off the top shelf. And what do we see? A little rat hiding in the closet. And my first instinct, I don't know, I've never walked in on something like that. My first instinct was to literally take a video. So I pulled my phone out of my back pocket, I opened Snapchat, and I took a video. I took a video of her hiding in the closet, and then I took a video of him like laying on his bed, and then I like ran out. And I ran into his roommate's room, and I was just like crying because I was like, what the heck did I just walk into? And I literally hear my best friend in the other room like screaming at him. And then in my head I'm like, oh my gosh, what about the chain I just got him today? I was like, Tatum, please go get it for me. I'm like returning it. So she literally goes back in his room and is like, give me the chain. And he's like, what chain? And this like high school girl is still just like sitting in his room, and he's like, what chain? Like pretending I didn't get him a chain that morning. And she was like, the one on your neck. And he's like so freaked out and scared, he's shaking. He can't get it off. So he goes, Tatum, can you help me get it off? So then I run to my other guy friend's apartment where like everybody would hang out at. And I did not go back to my dorm because I had my best friend there, my brother was in town, my brother's friend was in town, and then my roommate, obviously, in a little dorm. So I was like, I'm just gonna sleep on my friend's couch and like go back to my dorm in the morning. And then I woke up on their couch the next morning to someone standing over me while I'm sleeping going, Megan, Megan. And I wake up and it's him, and I was like, what are you doing in here? And I was like, don't talk to me, don't talk to me. And he was like, this is what he says, can I get you Andy's and we can talk it out? Sir, it is 9 in the morning. We're gonna go to Andy's and you're gonna talk about how I just walked in on you with another girl? No. So yeah, that is like the story of the time I walked in on him with another girl and took a video of it. And oh my gosh, he got like messed up on campus by all my friends. My friends would roll the windows down and like scream at him, and he'd be like talking to like other girls on campus or as like friends, and they'd be like, screw you, like screaming at him through the window. Or like my whole sorority like posted on Yik Yak or something. I can't really remember. I have a bunch of screenshots, but yeah, so that's literally the time I took a video of it. Obviously, it doesn't faze me anymore because I'm in a new relationship at this point. It's hilarious, like so funny, and I had to share it because I want y'all to hear. Should I post the video? Bye.
Story time of how I found out my boyfriend was cheating on me the entire time we were together. This happened about 2 months ago, right before the holidays, which was so fun to go back home and my mom tell everyone that I got cheated on. But this happened around, like, I want to say almost 2 months to the day. December, I don't know, like 9th or something. We had been dating for 5 months. I was finally getting in deep with him. Like, I had met his family. I had said I love you. I was a little apprehensive about getting into a relationship. He was religious, and I had just gotten out of a really abusive relationship. I'm still in therapy for that previous relationship. So I was just like, I don't know, dude. He somehow convinced me to get into this relationship. It genuinely was a good relationship. He was nice, and there was like, I'm saying nice as like, nice is the fucking bare minimum. Okay, sorry. It was a good relationship though. I just didn't get to see him very often because I live up here in our college town. We met in classes. He goes to the same college as me. He was a commuter kid. He lived 40 minutes down south of me. But his church, he did Sunday school. He was religious. Yeah. Was up at my like school. So his classes were up there. I was up there. His church was up there. And then he calls me one day and he goes, guess what? And I go, what? He goes, I got a job up there. He's going to work at the Waffle House. And in my head, I'm so excited because if he's up here for just one more thing, that just is one more thing that he's going to be up here to see me. If he works really late, he's not going to want to drive 40 minutes to drive up the next day. He's going to want, I'm 10 minutes down the road. He's going to want to come spend time with me. Love that. And then he goes, can I spend the whole weekend with you? And I was like, see, my plan is already working. My plan is working. So I was like, of course. He came up for Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I mean, by then I found out he was cheating on me, so whatever. Saturday was going to be his first day on the job, and he was up here all weekend, and usually my time to be with my friends is during the weekend. I work all week. I do classes all week, so I was like, oh, I'm really happy he's up here the whole weekend, but I have to miss out on going to the bars. I have to miss out going out with my friends, doing a girls' night, whatever it is. And I see my roommates, and it's Saturday night, and they're getting ready for the bars, and I'm like, and he's at work, and I was just like, I'm gonna be alone, and I'm just gonna stay here because my boyfriend's here, and I don't want to be one of those girls. So I text him, and I say, how would you feel about celebrating your first day on the job, going out with my roommates, out to the bars? Fully expecting him to say no. I never, this was the one and only time I ever saw him drink socially. I had seen him like 2 or 3 times, maybe, drink a glass of wine with dinner, but he did not drink. And it wasn't, I don't know. He didn't have anything against it because I went to the bars, I partied, I love dancing, I love drinking. I'm a college girl who's hot and 21, like, and now single, like, yeah, I'm gonna go out, okay? But he says yes. He goes, yeah, I'd love to go out. And I was like, oh my fuck. So I went to my roommates and I was like, okay, we have to act nonchalant because we're gonna scare him away, and then I don't get to see my friends and all this stuff. So after his work, he came home, the 4 of us, my 2 roommates, me and him, go out to the bars, and I was fully expecting like let's go to the dive bar, let's have a beer, let's chit chat. Somehow we end up, it's not like full club, but like on the dance floor, it's this underground kind of clubbish vibes. He's putting back drinks like I have never seen, but like he has never drank a day in his life, which I know is not true because he drank in high school, but like he was putting back drinks. I'm like, do you understand how alcohol works? Like, I drink a drink, you gotta wait a little bit, feel out the vibes, go up to the bar, it's gonna take him. This is him, vodka can, and then on her. Keep in mind, I'm paying for these. But I was matching him because I was like, if he's I don't know, probably like 70 pounds heavier than me, like almost not a foot taller. He was like 8 inches taller than me, like 70 pounds heavier. So I was like, okay, my tolerance is good, but he's a bigger guy. So I feel like our alcohol levels should kind of even out. Boy, was I wrong. We go to the next bar, whatever. Eventually he's like, I have work in the morning. My roommate was DD that day. So we get into her car. His head is out of her window. So we're driving home, and I'm just like, don't throw up in my roommate's car. Like, for everything that is holy about you, don't do this. We don't even pull up into the parking lot. Before we even get to the parking lot and we're like out front of our apartment, I drag him out. I'm like, drop us off right here. We sprint, I don't even know. We teleported up to my room, and I got him into my bathroom, and I was like, okay, go throw up. Does he throw up in my toilet? No. Why would he do that when he can throw up in my sink? The next morning, I was like crying about getting cheated on and like scoop it. Oh, disgusting. Whole thing, disrespectful, first of all. No. He's really drunk at this point. His head's in the toilet. I made sure he's on his side. He has water, whatever. He just wanted some space. My bathroom, right there. My bed, right there. So I was like, if you need anything, you don't even have to like say my name. Just be like, make a little noise, and I will come help you. I'm about to cozy up into bed. About to cozy up. I look over. I see his phone. Now, I've been trying to get into his phone for a little bit, and then about this week is, like, that week where all that was happening, I started getting this feeling like, okay, it's a little too difficult to get his phone. Like, at first it was, oh, let me just make sure his phone, he's not doing anything like that. And then it became, why is he going to the bathroom with his phone? Why is he taking a shower? Why can't I get into his phone? And something about me is if I get into a relationship, I'm checking their phone. It's one of, like, I know your politics, I know your exes, I know your love languages, I know what you're doing on your phone. Being fully transparent, they can do that to me. I'm not hiding anything, I don't care. Somehow he snuck around me checking his phone. I don't know how he got out of that. So, what do? I open Snap, because a week before, okay, don't judge me on this one. A week before I said, can I look at your Snap? Because I was like, I can't get on his phone. I'm just going to ask him, whatever. I was like, can I look at your Snap? And he goes, he goes, do you really want to do that? Scared. There were so many signs. So I go on his phone, I'm pinned as his number 1 on Snap, and I see most of his best friends list is girls, and I was like, oh, fuck my life. Okay. I just go to, like, the next girl after me on the best friends list, and I open their conversation. Why are there booty pics from the day before? Why am I scrolling through? And just scandalous photo after scandalous photo for the last few months. And I'm like, oh my fuck. So I go to my roommate. My roommate's low-key a stalker. She, like, if someone has, like, 1 more follower than they did the day before, she's like, oh my gosh, you're following this person now? Oh, I saw you guys talking. Whatever. She's crazy. So I run to her room. I give her his phone. I tell her the passwords. And I'm like, go through everything. Everything. I come back into my room. I confront him. He's on the toilet. I kind of nudge him. I'm like, you're cheating on me. Like, you're cheating on me. I felt like Tana Mojo right there. Oh my gosh. Story times. But, like, you're cheating on me. The fuck? And he's like, and I know he's not that drunk. This is, like, 45 minutes after we came back. He's already thrown up. Like, yeah, you're probably, like, in between drunk, but you're not. You can talk. He could talk the whole time. So he's pretending to be more drunk because he's probably embarrassed. He doesn't know what to say. He doesn't know what I know. So he goes, where's my phone? And I go, oh, he didn't say it like, he goes, where's my phone? And I go, you'll get your phone back when my roommate's done going through it. Okay? Like, first of all, no. My roommate proceeds to go through his phone for the next 2 hours. Call logs, FaceTimes, DMs, iCloud accounts, Gmails, locations, like, favorite, like, recently viewed history. I don't know. 2 hours worth of stuff. I have over 100 screenshots of his phone. But at this point, I'm so, like, I can't be in the same room as my roommate because she's just finding thing after thing after thing. And all I really know is I saw those pictures. Eventually, 2 of my guy friends come over because I was, like, filming him and, like, posting on my private being, like, he's, like, headed in the toilet, like, and I have, like, flash on. I was like, yeah, bitch, you better throw up, bitch, yeah. So my 2 guy friends come over. They weren't gonna, like, beat him over. Like, they came for my moral support. Me, my roommate who wasn't going through the phone, and then my 2 guy friends are here. He's in the bathroom. He's right there, door wide open. And I'm just like, yeah, like, I'll text his mom. Like, what should I say? Or, like, I was like, yeah, I got the number of this girl. Like, I wonder what I should tell her. And eventually I said, wait, how do you post the picture to a public Instagram or whatever? Like, he's hearing all this, like, oh my fuck. So that one got him out, and he was like, wait, where's my phone, blah, blah, blah. He gets his phone. I go into the living room, start talking with him. I don't know much. I don't know the extent of which he did everything, okay? And he denied it to the very end. He denied cheating on me. When I caught him in a lie, he denied that it was ever physical. And yeah. The next morning, I went through all the screenshots. Turned out he had come from another girl's house after they hooked up. He had been going out on dates. He was on Tinder. He was on Hinge. He was hanging up my nightly FaceTime calls to call other girls. There was over 25 different women. He was sleeping with some. He had results from Planned Parenthood that weren't that good. All this stuff the entire time we were dating. And yeah, I blocked him on everything. He tried, like, reaching out a few times after we broke up. Quickly denied that one. So yeah, I'm glad I made this into one part. There's so many other little details, but maybe I'll do another in-depth video, like, another time in my life. But yeah, this is a sign. Never trust a man. Made for a good story time in the end, so I'm not too mad. But what the heck?
Throughout high school, I was, like, in a pretty toxic relationship, which I feel like we all have to go through. But I would find out, like, at least once a month that he had cheated on me. I'd always be like, oh, it's fine. Like, I would get kind of love bombed back into it. And we dated from, like, sophomore year to
like the summer before senior year. One time he even tried gaslighting me into that we weren't really exclusive, so he was allowed to do things with other girls. But this one specific time, I had overheard one of the girls talking about how, let's call him Braxton, had kissed a girl the following night. And I was a junior at this time, and I was just kind of over it because this was like the 8th time that it had happened. But this time I was like, okay, you know, that's not okay. I wasn't gonna go straight to him and tell him that I knew, because he always like tried to convince me to stay, or like tell me that I didn't hear that. Like, he would gaslight me. So good old Kenzie was like, I'm gonna make a public announcement that he cheated on me. I thought this was like such a good idea. Okay, I was like, it's gonna humiliate him. I didn't think about me, okay? So we had just taken some like selfies or pictures the day before, so I posted it on my story and I tagged him and I said, once a cheater, always a cheater. And that's how I broke up with him. Then I'm pretty sure I got back together with him, so who knows. I had like so many screenshots on that story that I had posted on Snapchat. The whole school saw it. So he was definitely humiliated, but then like so was I, because I was like, wait, like I don't want things to be over, because I was stupid. So we had to like sneak around so we could actually be together. And then we ended up actually like breaking up for good the summer before senior year. And then that was like the best year of my life. I have like so many stories. I could just go on and on. So let me know if you guys want more.
Hey, how are you? Oh, shoot, hold on. I need to get the dictionary. Hold on. Okay, go ahead. Okay. Beep, beep, boop, bop, beep, beep, beep. Oh, the kids are good. They're so good.
As a woman, this is your sign to always trust your intuition or your gut feeling. Last year in March, my husband went on a bachelor trip in Florida. This whole time, I didn't check his location. I never really needed to, unless we were together and I was checking to see if he was on his way home from the facility or whatever. So I never checked his location this whole time. So Saturday comes, it's the night before he's supposed to be flying home. It showed that he was across the street from the hotel that he was supposed to be staying at, and I was like, that's weird. So I texted him and I said, hey, why does it look like you're across the street from where you're supposed to be? Nothing. I texted him 2 question marks, nothing. I FaceTimed him like 2 or 3 times, nothing. And this was all within like a 25-minute period, because as a girl, I started getting in my head. I was like, oh my God, okay, now he's not replying after I asked this question, whatever. So that was, like 25 minutes. And then he FaceTimes me back. He's running down the street out of breath. He's like, oh, I've been wrestling, such and such cousin. Like, we've been whatever. And I was like, okay, why does, and he was like, oh, well, I'm going to show you. So he showed me, he's like, that is my hotel. And it's like, it like wraps around. And so it looked like he was across the street. I don't know. So he showed me that, and then got a little upset. Like, why don't you trust me? Why would I be, whatever. Like, so we kind of got in a little, I could tell he was drunk, and then he got upset, and it just escalated really fast. And I was like, okay, like, I do trust you. I just, as your wife, I feel like I can ask these questions, and it shouldn't be that big of a deal. So anyways, we get off FaceTime. I don't text him, and he doesn't text me for like an hour, because we kind of like got in like a little argument, and I just pretty much like hung up. It's like, like whatever, like you're not going to make me feel bad for asking a question that I'm entitled to ask. So he texts me, it's probably like an hour past, and he's like, oh, are you really not going to talk to me? Then we had a whole conversation. He's like, like, I'm sorry, like, as your husband, you're right, like, you can ask me anything, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Fast forward, that was fine. He flies home the next day. We celebrate our 1-year anniversary of marriage. We had been married for a year. Fast forward 4 months later, I have a girl reach out to me, and she says, hey, met your husband in Clearwater, Florida. He was on a bachelor trip. We ended up having sex. Okay. Then everything was back to me. Like, oh my God, I had this feeling, but I trusted him. Anyways, she sends me a picture of her in his hotel room with the timestamp. I go back to that little window where he went MIA, and lo and behold, it matched up. The timestamp was during the period that he was not talking to me. More details come out, and come to find out, he left his hotel room because he heard his friends walking back from the club, and they were outside being loud and stuff. So he leaves his room, goes outside. That's when he FaceTimes me. He's like, hey, I've been wrestling with the guys. Then goes back in, finishes his business. Things get awkward. He sends her on her way. And that's just a sign to, if you have a gut feeling, 9 times out of 10, you're not wrong.
Story time on how I caught my teachers being too comfortable with each other. So this year was my senior year of high school, and there was these 2 teachers. I had him as an English teacher. We're just kind of calling Mr. Dan. And then I had, I didn't have her, but she was like the painting teacher, and she was like down the hall, right? And the painting teacher would always come into my English teacher's classroom, but the funny thing is like she would like always like smile and giggle at him. And I didn't think anything of it. I was like, okay, well, maybe she's just jolly as fuck. Like, I don't know. But then I seen that he was married, and I was like, oh shit, this bitch better not be fucking trying to go after someone's man like a homewrecker. But I was like, yeah, whatever. But that's not my fucking problem. That's not my place. And I remember one time she came into the classroom and she handed him a thing, and she's like, oh my gosh, your hands are so soft. Like, you have really great hands. What the fuck do you mean he has very great hands? You're married and he's married too. His wife would even sometimes come, and he would be like, hey guys, like, this is my beautiful wife, and she brought us this. She was the nicest fucking person ever. She brought us pizza and sodas when we all got like a good score on our test. Like, she was a really good lady, you know? And this bitch next door is fucking being weird. And then I remember I was walking to English class, and while it was lunch, I seen them like in the window. I seen them like walking together, and she was like, the painter, not his wife, the painter. She was like, and then they hugged. But not like a side hug, not like it was like a kind of fucking hug. Okay, and at this point, the whole year already goes by, and everyone thinks that they secretly like each other, or there's something going on like that. And it's the last week of school already, and I'm practicing graduation and stuff, so I'm going to the park right next to my school. And it was already time, this was already later, because I just got done from practicing graduation. I was walking to the park, and it had to have been already like 4. School ends at 1:16. It was like 2.5, 3 hours later, because I wanted to like talk to some teachers and stuff after that. And I go to the park, and in the corner of the park, I see a fucking car shaking hella. And I was just thinking, I was like, fuck, like, this is high school. This has to be a fucking student. And then I walk closer, and I'm like walking to the other side of the park, and it's like the parking lot right there. And I'm walking closer to go to the end of the park, and I was like, wait, is that Mr. Dan's car? And I look closer, and I just see her face, painting lady, smashed against the fucking window. And in my head, I was like, oh, and then I just like stood there, I was like, and she opened her eyes, and she seen me, and she was like, I basically fucking booked it. I must have ran so fast, and I hate running. I ran, and I don't know what to do. I'm a senior, I don't even go there anymore. I already graduated. Like, should I go and tell his fucking wife and email her anonymously? I don't know. Let me know what to do, and stay tuned for part 2 if there's any more details I found out about this story. Don't forget to like and follow, and stay tuned for more story times.